Welcome to discoveringcommunities.org and Self-Discovery Media. We are knowledge sharers. The Orchard of Wisdom podcasts guide you on your journey to self-discovery with a library of knowledge from people who have lived it, felt it, and now share it. Do enjoy our next show, and do come and visit discoveringcommunities.org to see what else we have for you. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Choose Positive Living right here on Self-Discovery Media and Self-Discovery Community Organization. We are here to celebrate the women today. I am Sara Troy, and my guest is Dr. Shelley Negelow. Negelow. And we've had her on before with Linus Woods Millens, and they have a wonderful program that we're going to be talking about later. But she is a woman's advocate. She's been her entire life there in supporting, celebrating, promoting, pushing, igniting women to be all that they are meant to be. And that's why she's a perfect fit for today's show. But today's show is we're talking about the women leaders during the COVID-19 and beyond. You know, we're seeing so many women at the present moment stepping up, but you know what? They've always stepped up. There's always been that mama's touch, and we're seeing that feminine touch even coming out of the men right now. You know, are women getting the credit they deserve? Can we find the leader within us at this time? Here are some facts. Women comprise the majority of frontline healthcare workers globally, meaning that female representation is vital in tackling this virus. 70% of the world's healthcare staff is made up of women. But only 25% of the global leaders are female. We need to change those ratios up. Without women in these positions, women's issues would fail to be addressed throughout the crisis. Women are high on the decision-making list. Are we listening to them? And you know, we have Germany, New Zealand, Belgium, Finland, Iceland, Denmark, women leaders that have got that pandemic under control. They flattened that curve, but due to proactive decision making. There wasn't ego, there was the roll up the sleeve and what are we going to do about it? Here in Canada, we've got some wonderful care people that have been on the front, on the news every day, reminding us what's going on, how we can stay positive and how we can do everything else. And you know what? It's not just about them, it's also about you. How have you stepped up in this particular time of crisis? You know, you're a leader. There's a leader inside of you, and everything that you do in your household and your life is in your own leadership. So how, at this present time, can you celebrate your leadership? How can you step into it? How can you use this platform at the present moment to propel women forward at this time in a more decision-making process, in a more having their voice out there? Because let's face it, when it comes down to it, women seem to have a lot of common sense. And we know we see a crisis in front of us as we've got right now, and there's this wonderful Celtic rune called Haglas, and it is disruption during causing chaos during a crisis. We are in disruption right now. But as we know from being moms, from running a household, when there's chaos in the house, what do? We start to sort it out, right? So what are you sorting out in your life? How are you stepping into your own leadership, and how can we help you? Welcome to the show, Shelley.
My pleasure, Sarah. What a joy to be doing this particular show with you.
We are awesome, and we know it. Not everybody else knows it. You know, let's hats off to all of the people on the front line at the present moment, everywhere. It's not just the nurses, you know, the doctors, it's the people that work in the stores, the grocery stores. Let's not forget the truck drivers that get the food to the service. It's the people that are looking after the children while the other people are going to work, putting themselves on the line. It's the mums that are now got all their kids at home having to be homeschooled, you know, and manage everything. We are incredibly capable creatures, but we don't always know it, do we?
No, not at all. In fact, we rarely acknowledge it fully. You know, we're so focused on taking care of everybody else, as you mentioned, and we're brilliant at it. We're brilliant caretakers, but we've never really been great at what I call including ourselves.
Yeah. Yes.
You know, it's essential. We're the ones that are supporting everybody else.
Mhm.
And without us including ourselves, who's going to do that? We're the
Yes.
only ones that say yes to who we are as well.
Mhm. Mhm.
And what
The
that looks like and what that means in actual everyday life.
Yeah. Yeah, the oxygenate yourself, right? You know, you can't help anybody if you're depleted. And
Exactly.
I think especially, I mean, I definitely fell victim to this, you know, as a mum, as a woman in my life. It's always about, you know, what can I do for you? And then all of a sudden I'm flattened and I can't do anything. And then the guilt because I can't do it. And we forget this wonderful word called delegate.
Novel concept.
Mhm. And why don't we delegate? You know, the man is all about teaching the boy to fish instead of, you know, giving him the fish. Why don't we delegate? You know, why do we feel that we have to take it all on ourselves?
You know, we're such perfectionists. We want everything to be done a certain way,
Yeah.
and we don't think it can be done as well. And maybe it can't be done as well. But who around us is going to learn how to
Yeah.
take on responsibility if we don't delegate it?
Hmm.
It's crucial.
Yeah.
And it also frees us up to be able to do other things. So we're not bogged down in the everyday little things that have to get handled.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
even teaching our children to fold laundry or
Yeah.
make their bed,
Yes.
simple
Simple
things.
things.
Learning
Simple
how to
things.
make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or whatever food you're involved in,
Right.
in your household, whether you're vegetarian or not.
Yeah. Everybody participate in the making of the dinner. Somebody can peel, somebody can chop, somebody can set the table, somebody can clear the table. You know, everybody can have a chore, right? It's part of being the collective family.
Yes, for sure. And it's very important so that everyone feels that they're contributing,
Mm-hmm.
not just mama taking on all the responsibility and then feeling after a while like she isn't being recognized. The
Oh,
truth of it is, you've got to recognize yourself first.
exactly. And, you know, looking in the mirror and go, oh, who have I become? You know? And, you know, you'll get a husband saying, she's not the woman I married. No, she's got a
No,
pile of kids. She's exhausted, you know, or she's evolved. You know, and no, she isn't the woman that you married. But you are meant to grow together. Now, that doesn't always mean you're going to be in perfect parallels. But, you know, the growth in a relationship is also the woman needs to grow in her own life. She's not here as the servant. She's here as service, but not a servant. And if she wishes to explore things outside of the household, if she's got a gift that she wishes to share with the world, with her community, then you know, be supportive of her taking that path to discover what that gift is.
very so, very true. And when you were mentioning about, growing together in relationship, that's actually one of the things I teach with my husband, Tom. We do teach relationship mastery seminars. And yes, it's essential for each individual to expand their own lives, to grow as human beings, but then also to be able to expand together in their relationship.
Yeah.
And that goes for the family unit, for a business unit, for whatever those relationships might be, all contributing, however
Yes.
you do, to support the whole and growing.
Yeah. It's not just, you know, the man and the woman servant and all the kids perfect, you know,
No,
like, you know, with the 50s,
leave it to
you know, the
Beaver.
illusion of the 50s, right?
Leave it to Beaver, yes.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. There was a wonderful movie put out of that called Pleasantville, where
Oh,
these,
yes.
you remember, two kids from the future go back into this, and it's all black and white. And as they teach them how to enjoy life, they all come into color. One guy comes up, "Where's my dinner? It's not on the table." And you know, we're not in those dark ages, although there are some people out there that would very much like to take us back there. Um, when we see women leaders out there in whatever capacity, small business, government, health, whatever arena, we're seeing somebody who really can multitask, but also most of the time can really see all of the ingredients that need to go into the dish, right? And from that leadership is very, very different to that of a man's, isn't it?
It's a very different focus.
Mm.
But we also have very different neurology, different chemistry
Yeah.
than a male does. And that doesn't mean it's better or worse. It's simply that we're usually the source of our relationships. And
Hmm.
most women don't even realize that. So stepping up to who you are, your ability to lead and to support other people around you, however, whatever that role might be, is really important, especially when you have great challenges as we do today.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, this has been an invitation. I say it's a gift of time for us to reflect, review
Yes.
our lives, renew, and we don't want to go back out there and do the same old, same old. Mother Earth at the present moment is saying to us, just look at my planet without you. She's thriving. If you wish to come back and share this planet, you need to be more considerate. I think it's also a wonderful gift of time, that time to reflect, that time for us to think what really is important in life. Can I get more time back in my life? Do I have to be so busy? What are my goals and why are they goals? Are they there to please someone else or an ego? Are they there because it's something I really am passionate about? This is a wonderful gift of time, even to have
It's a
connection with self, isn't it?
absolutely most important time to
Mm.
take a look within yourself to see what's really important for your life. Because, we have this idea, and most of us are very good at it, at checking off our to-do list and pushing ourselves to make things happen.
Yes. Every
Because
hour of every day.
every hour of every day, no matter what's going on around us. But then at the end of the day, you feel that in many situations, you don't feel really satisfied
Hmm.
because you become just your to-do list rather
Yeah.
than a much greater expression of who you are as a human being.
Yes.
And
Well,
that's very important to discover in this day and age. And one of the key components is actually learning how to slow down.
yes.
You
Yes.
actually accomplish more by slowing down. It's the exact opposite of how we think, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, it's, we if we take on so many jobs, we're going to be half-assed about it. It's just not going to be done properly. And our grandmas would be, slow down and concentrate on one thing. You can go and do that once you finish this. And there is a point to that. We take on, and we've got so many things cooking at the same time that something is going to fall through the cracks. And very often, if it's not ourselves, it most certainly is our family. And if we're single, then it most certainly is our relationship with our family, because something's got to give. Now, you need to assess, is that something that's got to give? Another project you're taking on? Or is it a relationship with self or with family?
Yes, because when you get clear
Mm.
with who you are as a human being on the planet, with how you want to move forward with your life, which is really the most important thing at this time,
Yes.
then you can include everything else that you really want to have happen, but with a much greater ease, without all that push.
Mm-hmm.
And you will actually accomplish so much more. You'll feel satisfied within yourself. You'll be satisfied with the quality of your life. But it takes a practice, it takes a commitment to yourself first, which is so anti how we've been trained as women.
Yes. Yes.
So it takes courage to step out
Yeah.
and to become the leader, as you were speaking about earlier,
Yeah.
become the leader that we really are innately.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes. And to understand that leadership doesn't mean that you have to be a member of so many things. It's choose what your voice wants to belong to. Right? What, yeah, in my analogy always is, in our self-discovery, it's what our instrument is. That's the gift that we've been given, our meaningful purpose. We learn how to play that instrument, then we find our orchestra in which to play it in. That's then when the symphony comes out. So, but first, if you don't know what your instrument is and you don't know how to play it, how do you know where you belong, which orchestra? So we have to take that time. What is, I know I'm good at this, I know I'm good at that, but I don't really like it. Well, what is it that really gets your heart going? What gets your spirit going?
so
And
true.
even if you can't do it as brilliantly as the other things, the passion is really where the true instrument is.
No question. But discovering that
Mm,
takes a bit of focus, takes a whole different focus than what we're used to.
mhm.
And it takes practice. You know,
Yes.
we want it yesterday, people, at this time on our planet. Everybody wants it yesterday.
Yes.
And it's not going to happen, that
And on
quickly. It's
credit. Don't forget, they
a
wanted
little bit of
yesterday and on
time.
credit. Yesterday and on credit.
Yesterday and on credit. Exactly.
And all of a sudden the bill comes in.
Right. And a lot of women have said to me over the years, because, I've trained thousands of women, particularly in the United States. And many women have said, well, gee, I have this career, or I have this job, I have to pay my bills. Yes, that's all very true. But you can also be paying your bills, doing your job passionately
Yes.
to discover what's next and start to put whatever's next into motion little bit at a time, little bit at a time. And all of a sudden, you've created a whole new outcome that you didn't expect to even step into in your lifetime. And that's how I started in my own work with women.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was an executive recruiter and I was burnt out. I was pushing myself so hard. I
Mm,
was having a physical breakdown from all the push that I had in my life. And I was at the top of my game. I was
mhm,
very successful. But in the process, I realized I was really passionate about supporting women.
mhm,
And I had a metamorphosis with my own life and started to tell women about what I was discovering. Women started to come to me and they
mhm.
wanted me to teach them. So that was the beginning of my Power of Woman seminars and the work that I've been doing women for over 30 years now.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, seed the desire, water
That's
the desire. You may not know what. When I first went into doing podcasts 8 years ago, I had no idea how to do it. Somebody just said, come and join my network. And the first show I did, it was all live for the first 13 months before I started my own. I pressed all the wrong buttons and it wasn't on the air. When you're interviewing line, I kind of call it the soap opera training, because you are in the spot right there and then, and you've got to deal with a person's being dropped, you've been dropped, nobody can hear, all those things that go on. And for all that difficulty and that frustration, I learned I really love this. I really love the people I'm meeting. It's given me so much hope in humanity to meet such extraordinary people who are doing such wonderful things for mankind. And of course, it's now become most certainly my orchestra. But you have to be willing to throw away the manual and just explore, walk the walk and see where it takes you.
I call it giving up your control,
Yes.
because we're so in control of having to do it a certain way. And some of us are perfectionists, as I have been most of my life. It's taken me some time to break up those old ways of operating. But so many of us have to have it done a certain way. That's why we don't give it away to begin with.
Yes. Yes. I think the funny thing is, in my own life, every time I try and make something perfect, a perfect system, a perfect routine, a perfect that, something comes along. This rune Haglas, which is always haunts me. I love the Celtic runes, they're wonderful. But this Haglas has always been their disruption. And I realized what it meant. I'm actually a disruptor in people's lives, because,
Yes.
I'm there to shake them up, wake them up, have them step up, change it up in their lives. And this is what the universe is doing now. And this is how the universe is using me. And it is about, don't be so complacent over your life. Don't just go, well, it is what it is. I've just got to go with it. I'm stuck in this job forever. Here I am, the storm that's coming to disrupt you, to shake you up. And it can be scary. It can be scary at first, because that complacency becomes security, right? And when you shake that security up, and now all these pieces are everywhere, well, you don't look at it as, oh, I am apart. Look at what parts need to really go back together
In a brand new way.
in a brand new way. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
So don't be afraid of disruption.
that's right. It's all part of the discovery.
Yes.
And really, we do create, we do manifest in the unknown, not what we already know.
Mm,
What we already know, we know. Nobody can take that away from you. You already have whatever experiences and knowledge that you have. So you're going to bring that along with you anyway. So everything we step into that's brand new is unknown,
Yes.
you know?
Yes.
And so being comfortable in that experience, it takes a little practice,
Yeah.
and it's okay. It's just like what you went through, you know.
I still
You
go
know,
through.
sometimes people have the knobs and the dials and
Yes, yes,
the buttons.
I still go through it. My life is just not meant to be organized. Every time I think I've got it now, you nice system, no, something comes to disrupt. It just is,
Right.
it's just obviously, that instrument that I'm using, but it's there for a purpose. And, that's the thing is, don't fight your purpose. Don't fight your gift. When you discover it and go, yeah, but it's a little hard or this or that, don't worry. It will become easy as the passion for it grows deeper. And that willing, I call myself a willow tree. I'm finally firmly rooted. I've got a good strong trunk, but those branches are constantly swaying back and forth. But they can take it. They can take the gale, right? Because I've deep rooted myself. So deep root yourself in a belief of who you are, why you are, what does life mean to you, and all those wonderful experiences you've had in life. The best teachers in life are those that have gone through the process,
Exactly.
right?
And
Best.
one of the things I want to add to what you're saying is, for me, and what I also teach women in particular, is that we have to honor all of ourselves: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. My dear friend Linus says, mind, body, and spirit. Well, it's the same.
Yeah, I had
It
soul.
has to be included.
Yes.
You know, we think that maybe a part of this is okay to do, but not a part of that.
Mm.
But the emotion is as important. The physical body is actually crucial. If you don't include the whole system, then you can't possibly experience all of who you are.
Well, that's where disease comes from. Disease is dis-ease. When the body starts breaking down, it's because all the other components. Now, yes, we've got to think of environmental, what goes on, what goes in, what's around us. That has a huge component on the body. But a good 80% of what happens in our bodies is coming about through the dis-ease of our psyche, of our spirit, of our heart, of our soul. And if we don't get those in alignment, our mind is not going to know what it needs to know when it needs to know it. If we're purely going from the head data and we're not incorporating the soul, heart, and spirit in the conversation, we're always going to be flapping in the wind and feeling diseased.
Yes, it's certainly not satisfied with our lives, not fully.
No,
Or
no,
we can pretend to be satisfied, and sometimes we're pretty good at pretending.
no, we were very good at that when Harry met Sally. We're very good at faking.
Yeah, we're very good at faking. Yeah, and it makes it look. Billy Crystal, many years ago, when he was very famous for this phrase, said, "It's better to look good than to feel good." And the truth of it is, you have to feel okay with who you are.
Yes,
Those,
unapologetically too, right?
that's
Unapologetically.
exactly what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah. I mean, don't you find that through time, and especially since media has become so prevalent, and especially now with selfies and everything else, and social media, there's this constant comparison. I want to be like that person. I want to look like that person. I want to be as famous as that person. I want to be like that person. Stop selling yourself short. Stop trying to be
You
someone
miss,
else.
yes, you miss your own gift. If
Yes.
you're looking at everybody else as
Yeah.
your role model, not that to say that you shouldn't have role models,
Hmm.
but that's not it. When it comes to discovering who you are, you got to discover it from within yourself.
Within.
Nobody can give you that.
No.
Now, you can learn it in classes. That's one of the things I teach. But you still have to discover it within yourself. You have to do the work.
You have to participate.
You have to participate and
Yes.
truly want to.
Yeah. That is the big question, isn't it? Is again going back to the busyness. Everybody wants to. Well, how fast is it going to be? How long will it take? Can I just download an app? And we've got to understand self-discovery is something that will take time, and the longer it will take is the longer you're going to resist participating in your own journey, your own inner journey. It's not discovering your outside. It doesn't matter how pretty you are or how this or that you are on the outside or how sexy you are.
Right?
It's what about the beauty from the inside?
Exactly. We call it enlightenment for a meaning, for a reason. It's
Mm-hmm.
enlightenment.
Yes, yes.
Yes, you're lightening yourself up from the inside out. Now, the thing that we do miss is that we already are who we are.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can give you that, but you can uncover and discover it as an experience and then use it as your foundation for producing the results you want in your life. But we're already hardwired with who we are.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
So,
the core DNA of what we're here to do is already there. We've just got to discover what that is and how we're going to participate and contribute it back into society.
and even, for some women who want to just, be at home and be a mother and take care of their families, to me, that's the best role on the planet.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be a huge leadership role out in the world. Being a leader at home, having a strong role model for your children, being that space for the others around you is a huge, big deal. And
Yeah.
the women should honor themselves for the work they do. It's just amazing.
I was a stay-at-home mom because my husband had very precarious hours, and but I was also the neighborhood mom, the sanctuary house. I also dabbled in other things and did coaching, etc., etc. Just one of those things that just happened because in the right place, right time, in the right situation. And I look upon it, and people going back into the workforce after staying at home with their kids and go, but I'm only a housewife, I'm only a mother. Well, finances, purchasing, counseling, negotiating, nurse, head cook, cleaner. What else can we have? Bookkeeper, you name it. All those skills in running a house can now be transferred into something else.
That's absolutely right. Yeah.
Oh, don't
And the
forget sex goddess as well.
determination. And the determination to produce the results, no matter what, no matter whether you really know what to do about it or not, you're going to find the way.
Yes.
And so that kind of determination is crucial in uh, the women stepping out into their full potential as human beings
Yeah.
and
Yes.
becoming the true leaders that they are, however they choose to step up to it.
And this is again, don't sell yourself short. I mean, during this pandemic at the present moment, we're seeing, the women that I watched a video on LinkedIn, and it just tugged at my heart. It was a nurse at the end of a shift, just crying, saying she was just so tired of going into a room and finding another body dead, alone, and having to call another family. And she was just so utterly tired that she couldn't even get a good night's sleep before she was back out there again, and everybody was drained. And they are going way beyond the call of duty right now. This, we celebrate our veterans when they come home. The celebration needs to be for all of the frontliners at the present moment, especially in our hospitals, because what they're going through right now is the battlefront. And many of them kind of didn't know they had it in them to be able to push themselves that far. And I think this is something we're all being asked to do, even in our patience of staying home and managing the household, or even if we're single and alone and you're not dating and you're not hanging out with your friends, you're being a dual citizen and staying at home and isolating at this time. Everybody's being called to duty in some way. And again, that gift is that what do you have within you that you haven't ignited yet, that you haven't discovered yet? When we're so inspired by these people who are pushing themselves beyond, what can we do? What can we do that's beyond what we thought we were capable of?
So the beginning point is first to go within and slow down and begin to discover who you are, what your life is about, what your purpose is, what is it you want your life to be, and it can look whatever way you want it to look. And then what actions can you begin to take to go out into the world, to do whatever you do to be of service to other people? And, it could be a very fine artist who may not be seeing a lot of people, but whatever your calling is, whatever you get lit up with,
Right.
then go and pursue it passionately and don't hold it back,
Right.
because this is the only life you have.
Hmm.
Now, however you believe about life, that's fine. But right now, this is the only life you have.
And you don't, well, I can't go out. Well, no. Hey, excuse me, there's this thing called the computer, or a phone, the internet, you know,
Yes,
what a perfect time while you're being isolated to take courses online, to take workshops online, to listen to podcasts like we've got, to be a part of what you've got coming up with Linus. You've got the time now. We've also got to remember there's another huge word that you have to have: investment. It may mean you have to financially invest in yourself. Now, it's not going out and buying another outfit to make you feel good. It's putting it
no,
into a workshop or a course or something, even if it's just exploratory. Well, this looks interesting. I think I'll give it a try. At the end of it, you go, yeah, it was really interesting. Maybe not for me, but I really got exposed to something else. Right? So don't think that you're going to go out, step out once and go, hallelujah is here. There's my purpose. You've got to be in discovery. And that means go and take some workshops that are going to help open you up so you can see inside.
absolutely. Absolutely. Whatever it takes to move your life and to move that spark within you and to live an inspired life
Yeah.
with nothing held back.
Yeah. Yeah, tell us what you're doing with Linus right now. Linus Wood-Mullins, who is a past host with us here, constant repeat. She's also a mentor here on the selfdiscoverycommunity.org, and a few-year friend now. She's a wonderful woman, and you two are doing a project together. We did do a show on it. I'm inviting people to go back and listen to the show because you go in detail, and it was an exuberant of energy on that show. But tell us what you're doing, because this could very well be what something needs right now.
Yes, and we've slightly changed the title, but let me say that it's called Emergence of the Total Woman Program. And we're actually doing emergence encounter master classes. And this is to elevate your life. And the actual link now, which I think was different when we first spoke with you, is bit.ly/emergence encounter 1. And that will take you to all the classes. There are 3 classes. And what these classes are really about is Linus teaches the wellness and the health part, the outer expression for women in their lives. And I actually teach the inner development, the inner self, so that you can start to tap into our innate power and use it in the world to manifest what you want your life to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's very exciting. It's a great marriage for the two of us. We're great together. It's a lot of fun for us, but it's a very powerful opening for a lot of women who just don't know what to do in this transitional time for their
Right.
lives.
Yeah. I mean, we say review, and the review is, you know what, I just don't want to go back out into life the same way I was living it. So what else is out there for me? So, as you said, Linus is a really good one on your well-beingness of what you put in your body, what you put on your body, the meditation, the yoga, the all of those type of things of taking care of the wholeness of you. And you're going in and opening up all those little shutters and doors in there,
That's
dusting them off and saying, let yourself out.
yes, and actually discovering what that is as an
Yes.
experience so you can use it and produce the results you want.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's very exciting.
Yeah. And, this is a perfect time. I know the certain leaders want everybody to go back to work, which is a big mistake. We are in this for much longer. And if we really want to get the back of this, we really have to adhere to that distancing and that redirecting. And, maybe your job was one where you were around a crowd of people all the time and you're just not feeling so comfortable about going back into that realm. And you go, but, you know, um, maybe I was a bartender, maybe I was um, a rep or this, that, well, whatever your skills were there, what did you love about what you did? What did you love about what you did? What was in it for you? Was it the connection with the people? Did you love seeing people smile? Did you like making people happy? Well, all you're doing now is looking at another arena to do that in, where it's really, because the best payment, although folks, we do need payment, the best payment is when we see people's, light up and become themselves and take flight in their own lives. It's a wonderful gift, isn't it?
It is, absolutely. And one of the things I want to mention when you said you have to invest in yourself,
Mhm.
don't let money stop you.
Right, right.
Because if you're waiting for the right amount of money or the right time or the right whatever you think about, it's not going to come. You actually have to say, no matter what, I'm going to do whatever I have to do and start to take the steps. They don't have to be huge steps. They can be baby steps in the beginning. But whatever you do, do something to mobilize yourself to really become that whole person you truly want to emerge into.
Proactiveness, right? Yeah.
Proactiveness.
And
Yes, and for those of us who already are very clear about ourselves, what's next?
yes. Oh
How
no,
else
Brenda,
do
we
we
don't
go?
sit here. No, we don't think we have found our medium in order to do what we want to do. But what's next in our medium, we never know, do we? Until it presents itself or until we discover it. It's that's the thing, be open.
Be-
Don't stop putting everything in little boxes and up on a shelf. Be open. You can have structure in your life, but have those boxes open enough to be able to extract or put things in, but you've got to be open to the experience.
Absolutely. And just have the commitment to discover what it's going to be for you and don't worry about how it's going to show up. Just let
Right.
go of the control because things will open up for you no matter what they will. They always do, in fact. So it's a matter of learning to trust yourself.
And, as I said, listening to podcasts and summits and things, and of course you're the summit lady and you have beautiful summits. We have lots of wonderful people on there. And, I'm a firm, firm, firm believer that we learn best from those that have taken the journey before us. And
Yeah,
inspiration begets invitation. And when you're inspired by someone, by the journey they've taken, what they're doing now, it ignites something in you. It invites something in you, an avenue to explore. I did not fall in, well, I did fall into podcasting after, I viewed many other avenues, but I didn't even know that this was going to be it for me. I stuck with it, right? It's not like, I don't like the taste, I don't want to do that again. Let your taste buds adjust, get used to it. And if after a little while you go, right, like, no, this is totally not me, but what did I learn from it that I can take somewhere else, right?
yes,
And
very good.
it's constantly, if we were just rested on our laurels right now, we'd be boring to ourselves. It's always like we don't know what is next around us, even if it's hagglass and disruption. We don't know what's there, but that's what keeps us intrigued and engaged.
That's what's exciting about living life fully.
Yeah.
Learning to live in the unknown, which
Yes.
is where our power really does lie.
The wonderment. Oh, what
The
does tomorrow hold? If we knew, oh God, tomorrow's just going to be this, how boring. We wouldn't want to get out of bed. But if like, I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm open and ready to receive something joyous, it's you don't know. Be open and ready and willing to receive
Absolutely.
in the right vibration.
Yes. Well, you can choose to live out of the past,
Yeah,
or you can choose to create something brand new.
right.
Either way, you're going to be on the planet for however many years we're going to be on the planet.
You can't run away from yourself.
No, I mean, you can try, and
You
some
won't.
people do, but you're never really going to run away.
No,
Yeah.
no.
So, how
Eh,
exciting it is to have this opportunity, as you said, an incredible opportunity to step out into what's next for our lives and
Right.
rise above our circumstances.
Yes. I mean, at the present moment, no matter who's on the forefront, who's out there battling for us, we've all been invited to participate in this, well, they say war on COVID, but I think it's on this readjustment, on this invitation to change. And we've got to understand it's not about what everybody, the leaders lead the way on the change. Some do, some don't. It's about how we're stepping up to be a part of that change, which means change within us. You know, if we want peace, first we must find peace within us and bring that peace to the table. It's that we don't just walk into a room of peace. You know, you've got to be that peace to be a part of that peace. So, and to create that peaceful environment for other people. So if you want something out of your life that's different, then you've got to be prepared to invest in yourself, to participate, to explore, and to see where it takes you.
Sarah, that is so brilliantly said.
Thank you. Now, I know that you guys have a special on right now. I'm not quite sure what it is, but of course they can go to the site and they can sign up and they can see everything that's coming up. And I think this is a
Right.
wonderful platform for everyone. Just, you know, right now, you know, I don't want to go back to my job, or I realize that my job is just a job. It's not something that, you know, I live for. This is a perfect time for me to explore what else is out there. How long is the course and what is the process with it?
Well, again, the dates will be online. They're typically every Wednesday. There is a different class that we're offering, and again, there are 3 classes right now, and I think they're offered twice in a time frame up until the beginning of early June. So it'll be every Wednesday. Anyone can log on the site. Again, bit.ly/emergence encounter, singular emergence encounter 1. And that will get you to all of the classes with all of the dates and all of the information that you might be interested in joining us,
Yeah.
because it really will change your life.
Mm. And you know, there's a lot of younger people right now, you know, going, well, you know, I had plans to do this and to do that. With the world where it is right now, maybe I can't do that. And I think the dismissing of a more mature generation is not so, you know, critical as it has been in the past. Is that when we look to our elders in any other culture, anybody that has gathered wisdom through the years and that is there to share that wisdom is always revered. And I think when you have got this wisdom coming from people who have taken so many paths in their lives, you know, had so many chapters to their books, there is something that you're going to get from it that not only will prepare your own chapters, but it's knowledge for you to bank for the future. And we don't want people to have to repair themselves later in life. We want you to prepare yourself to go through life.
That's absolutely the case. Absolutely. And the people who've been around on the planet longer,
Mm-hmm.
they have much wisdom to share with the younger generations so that perhaps they won't make quite the same mistakes.
Right.
You know, people will always make mistakes, but they can learn from the people who've been around for a while.
Which tools to apply in that mistake, you know, or how to let go of that mistake and not persecute yourself, and how to rise above it. You know, the thing is, our past is our past. It makes who we are today. The whole point of it is our emotions are here to guide us. How do we feel in this moment? Acknowledge it, address it, but don't become emotional about it. And when we look to the past pain, that's being emotional about the past. If it's not serving us, we need to let the emotion go. We're not going to let go of the memory, right? It's there also as a warning not to go down that path again or to beware, but don't have the emotion around it, because that will hold you back and it will stop you from propelling forward. And really what we want you to do is be in the fluidity of life and constantly moving forward, because that's where life is. It's in the
That's
now, and it's seeding for tomorrow. It's not seeding for the past.
very, very, very true. And one of the things that I actually teach in the Emergence Encounters master classes is learning how to release what we do hold on to, because there are 3 aspects to letting it go fully: emotional, physical, and mental.
Mm-hmm.
So when you clear the whole system of whatever you're holding on to, it actually changes the neurological pathways, and you start to create whole new ways of operating that no where you release those old reactive ways,
Yes.
those old reactive responses to things.
Yeah.
So I teach that step by step, and that's one of the things I've been teaching for years in my Power of Woman seminars.
And for
And
somebody that maybe is in that space at the present moment, you know, the past is holding me down, maybe this is the first thing they need before they go into the other program. Because unless you release the past, how can you embrace the future?
very, very important to release the past.
Mm.
And you actually can have the intention, as you have discovered for your own life, to not only release the past, but also step into what's going to be created for your life now.
Yeah,
You can have both going on.
yeah.
Now, you're not going to handle both at the same time, but you can handle both and have it all work very easily. And so there's nothing to hold anyone back if they really want to take those steps and have the courage to step out, no matter what.
Yes. I mean, this is, you know, one of the things I love about what I do is that people sharing their strength and their courage by going through the process to become who they are today. And it does take strength and it does take courage. And we do have strength and we do have courage within us. And it's just that discovery of how strong. I never knew I was as strong as I was, that I had the courage that I had, or had the capabilities that I have, because I was always selling myself short, because I was allowing other people to dictate what I was and not embrace who I am. So it's really important that we do let go of those old programs and have a blank slate in order to insert something that is going to be more productive for your now and your future. That's a separate program you do. So how do people get to be a part of that program, love?
Power of Woman seminars, there are two ways they could get a hold of me. Through my Facebook page, which is Power of Woman Seminars. It's singular, Power of Woman Seminars, with Shelley, Shelley, Negelow, Negelow. And the other way is simply by emailing me, Shelley Negelow at gmail.com. And I'll be glad to respond to you with whatever you need to get information about.
You may not know what you need right now. You may need to just reach out to you and just say, look, this is where I'm at. You know, that there's some epiphanies that I've had. You know, I don't want to go back into my life as it was. What should be my first step? And you're there to help them guide on to that next step.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And by the way, Linus has recently done the Power of Women seminar. She loved it. And she speaks huge volumes about it. And she's also in my Advanced Power of Women seminar right now, which is learning how to manifest, produce the results in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
Excellent.
once you get who you are, you got to go take it out and do something with it.
That's the purpose of it. You know,
That
it's you know,
is
your instrument needs to be played. Find that orchestra, create that symphony, resonate that music that uplifts and invites other people. We've got to understand that each and every single one of us is here for a reason. And that is to contribute. But what is it that we're needing to contribute? Is it coming from the heart and soul? Is it truly our gift? And, you know, it should give you as much joy as it does the people you share it with.
for sure.
And if it isn't, you're in the wrong area. And not to say you're not going to have frustrations along the way, especially if you're dealing with technology. But, you know,
Or if
but
you're dealing with people,
all people,
there's always
exactly.
going to be some frustration.
Yes, exactly. But it's at the same time, it's you learn to deal with things so much better. You know, I don't get as flustered and frustrated and uptight and upset as I used to. It's like, take the breath, let it out. Okay, what do I need to learn from this? Where am I meant to go now? Right? And it's take that pause in life. It's okay to have a pause, because there's another path that they're wanting you to go down. And you can't go down that path if you're so busy and immersed. So sometimes take the breath, listen, and however it comes to you, don't, you know, nobody's going to send you a telegram or a text saying, now go here. Whatever vision or feeling or something comes to you, follow it, please. Follow it.
Yes, and learning how to listen so you're listening to that quiet place versus the chatter that's
Yeah.
always going on inside. The chatter is simply in the form of thinking, but it doesn't mean anything. And most of us think that, that chatter in the background is who we are,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not. It's that quiet, quiet place you're speaking about. That
Yes,
quiet place that gives us very profound information about living our lives if you'll listen.
it's the channels that are open to,
Exactly.
to that divine knowledge that comes through. And that's where your knowingness is. It ignites with your heart, with your soul. It goes to your heart into truth. It goes to your spirit into action, and your mind will know what it needs to know when it needs to know it, because you are in that direct channel. And you can't be in that direct channel receiving that information if there's a disco going on.
Very,
I'm
very
dating
good.
myself. They don't call them discos anymore, do they? A rave.
But
I'm
it's
not
fun.
even dating there.
It got the job done, I'll tell you. Very good.
Oh, you can't keep up with it, because even my kids are in their 30s now, so God knows what the 20-year-olds are doing or under at the present moment. But, you know, a lot of people kind of look at our generation and go, well, what do you know? What do you do? Well, everything you have today is because of us. Your computers, your iPhones, your internet, your everything else came from somebody that was in discovery before, that opened up and just was willing to explore the possibilities. And so we cannot think, as most young people do, that, oh, it's all us. We don't need anybody else. As they grow older, and then they go, oh, maybe not. Maybe not. And that's okay. That's the whole thing is, this epidemic at the present moment is, as I said, a gift of time. It's an invitation for us to change things because it is shaking us up. But it's also that time for us to go, I'm so inspired by the women that are stepping up right now in leadership of all arenas. And what leader is lying inside of me waiting to come out? Why have I been so scared to step into my leadership? What am I waiting for? And can I put away those excuses and just explore right now?
Yeah, don't buy your excuses.
Yeah,
Be unstoppable.
yeah,
Become that way. Don't let anything hold you back from living your life fully and really living a life that you love.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole new chapter out there that's unwritten for all of us right now. Life is not going to be the same as it was before. We're certainly going to have to be more mindful, more considerate, less consumering, and more living from the inside out, and more caring. Kindness and caring and compassion are the true is the true abundance, because it equals love, and we know that's the ultimate gift that we could ever receive. And if we're not kind and caring towards ourselves, how can we be that to others? So take this time to nurture, to love, to support, to ignite, and to let yourself be free and step into your own leadership right now.
Love it, Sarah. That's so accurate and so excited to share this with everybody today with you.
Don't be scared that it's a pandemic. Everything is always an invitation for
There's always
change.
going to be something,
There's something.
something,
Yes.
something, some challenge because we're humans and we have human experience. It's just the
Yeah.
way it is.
Yes. And this is an unusual one, because the whole world is united, which means that the whole world has been invited to make those changes. And changes only come about from the individual. Everybody expects somebody else to make the decisions. It comes about by us. But what we do, how we interact, how we participate, what we contribute. And so this is a great time to say, I don't want to go back to the way the world was. And for this new world to be the way it be, how can I step up and be a part of this new direction?
Exactly.
It's a wonderful time, really, in history. I mean, I know it's a deadly time, but one has to think about it in a different way. All the deaths we're seeing due to the virus right now, we're seeing less on the roads of traffic, deaths and other deaths, and it's just life. Nature will always balance itself out. And for the whole world to be in this at the same time, what is the message? It's an invitation for the whole world to rethink and change. And that game falls on us. And just to realize there's awesomeness in you waiting to come out. And don't become a leader to lord it over anyone else, because a leader creates other leaders. Become a leader in your own light, and you shed your own light on those that are ready to see it, and don't worry about the people that don't. They're just not ready to see that light yet.
Yes, for sure.
So once again, love, how people can get hold of you.
Uh, it would be best to reach me at Power of Woman Seminars on Facebook with Shelley Negelow, Shelley, and as in Nancy, Egelow, or shelleynegelow@gmail.com. And if you'd like to join Linus and myself for Emergence Encounters Masterclasses, Emergence Encounter 1. And that's bit.ly/Emergence Encounter 1. And that'll take you right to all the information.
This is the time, folks. It's not tomorrow, it's not next week, it's not wait and see. This is the time. This is the invitation. Step up. Right? We're asking you that the universe has shaken us up to wake us up to step up and change it up. Step up. Be the change that we seek as a human nation, that this world is hoping that we're going to be, and step up into your leadership, because it's going to make your life so much more fruitful, and all that you touch, all whom you touch, is going to benefit from it. So step up into your beautiful leadership, because we need you.
Thank you so much for this today, Sarah. Truly a joy and an honor to be with you and with your guest today.
Thanks a lot, Shelley. And everyone, please, 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 no excuses. Sorry, that was yesterday. It's today. Reach out to Shelley and just ask her the question. Look, this is where my life is right now. Should I do the past stream? Should I jump into Linda's thing? Should I do this? Should I do that? If you're not clear about what you want to do, just don't sit there and do nothing. This is the time of action. I call it actionism. Step into actionism, because that's the invitation right now. And don't forget to take a breath, take stock, and give yourself a loving hug, because you deserve it. Until next time, folks.
Bye,
Bye
everybody.
for now. We hope that you enjoyed the show. Do visit us at www.discoveringcommunities.org and see all the other wonderful shows that we have on our Orchard of Wisdom on self-discovery. And do check out our mentors with all the wonderful services they have for you. Until next time.